You are listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, presented by Richard A. Boxshall, in which I chronicle my life and attempts to become a professional writer by, doing some writing, daily, hopefully. Hello there, it is Friday the 2nd of August 2024. You're listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, and once again, I have had a really productive 24 hours. In fact, it's less, I think, than 24 hours since I last spoke to you, or maybe it isn't. I'm getting confused with the time difference. But yes, so today, I think I last spoke to you just after we'd landed, and I'd just nipped out to the 7-Eleven to buy a few snacks. And I basically said yesterday, I've a few things I need to do. I need to edit chapter 33, and also at some point, probably after I finish chapter 33, and maybe even 34, I need to do a bit of work on my short story collection. Fast forward 24 hours, and I've been incredibly productive. So, the first thing was that this morning I went out for... It was a very late breakfast. In fact, it was so late, I think it's probably fairer to call it lunch. So I went out for lunch at about... lunchtime. I can't remember the time. Anyway, I went out for lunch, and I'd taken my my iPad with me, and I wanted to do the editing of chapter 33 on a live stream, and also on my laptop, but because it's better for doing that kind of thing. Pardon me. So when I got to lunch, I kind of thought, well, I've got my iPad with me. Let's do something. So I started writing the short story that I kind of vaguely mentioned yesterday. So it's set on a flight. In terms of Doctor Who, it's set between Time Flight and Arc of Infinity. So it tells the story of why Tegan gets fired from Air Australia. And the story that I'm doing, one of her passengers is a young man by the name of Jim Carver, who is about to apply to work for the Metropolitan Police. So it's linked to the Bill, like before. It's a Doctor Who, the Bill sort of crossover. And yeah, I went for a walk, I did a few bits and pieces, and in fact, I ended up writing, during the course of the day, 2,000 words, which is probably about 40% of the story, maybe slightly less, depending on how much detail I go into. So I'm really, really pleased with that. So, so I've started writing that story. I haven't decided what I'm going to call it yet. As I say, it's set in approximately 1982 or 1983. 2,000 words, yeah, that's not bad, is it? I was quite pleased with that. Sorry, somebody just commented on the chat. So I've done that, and I will continue writing that, probably not the next couple of days, but who knows what mood I'll be in tomorrow. So I've done that, and then, of course, this evening, I've actually managed to do the first edit sweep of chapter 33 as well, which I'm really, really pleased about, because that means I've had an incredibly productive day. So, chapter 33, I'm probably going to do 3 stages in the edit of this first draft. So I've just done my screen read-through, which was great. I've managed to iron out a few bits and pieces. I tidied up a continuity error around a military vehicle that the army guys that are looking after Ronnie, I kind of implied that they'd sent up this big vehicle up ahead of them, but actually it's too complicated. It wouldn't get up to the middle of the Cairngorms without being noticed anyway, so it's stupid them sending it up if they're trying to be inconspicuous. So I've basically went into the previous chapter and removed that reference so that what I've written in chapter 33 in terms of continuity makes sense. Anyway, so I've done all that. So I've done the first screen read through. Normally that's followed immediately by a paper read through. So I'll print it out and go through it line by line, paragraph by paragraph, with a pencil or pen. Now, I'm away from home, I'm not back home for another couple of days, and I don't think I'm going to do the paper read through whilst I'm in Singapore, which is where I still am, but I am going to, I'm probably going to do one more screen read through, possibly online, possibly not, but then that leaves me in a nice position so that but when I get home, all I'll have to do is the paper read through, which I will probably do. It'll either be on the 4th, which is that Monday the 4th? No, Friday. That's Sunday, isn't it? Sunday the 4th, or maybe Monday the 5th. I'll do one or the other. and get that chapter signed off, which is brilliant. I'm really pleased with that. I've still got a lot of work to do, so I still have at least, I think, 6 more chapters and an epilogue to write, but I've written a chapter in not much more than a week, I don't think, because, in fact, I've written quite a lot of it. I think I've written all of this on this trip, actually, all of this chapter on this trip away from home. And these aren't always the most productive of times when I'm working, but then it's a longer trip. So very pleased with that. So yes, that's basically what I've done. So here we are, day 2 of August. I have tried to pledge to do a podcast every day this month. I freely admit there will be some days where I'm going to be too tired to do it, but what I'm going to do, possibly even later tonight actually, is do what I call an emergency podcast. And I've freely admitted to doing these in the past, that I will pre-record something just to stick out for the days where I'm too exhausted because of work or whatever to do it. So this is where I am. Chapter 33, almost finished. The first 2,000 words of my next short story done, and I will record an emergency podcast probably before I leave Singapore. So yeah, it's been a really productive day within a really productive couple of weeks. Thank you very much for listening. Take care. Catch you soon. Bye-bye. You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, presented by Richard A. Boxall. Thank you for tuning in to my random ramblings, and if you'd like to know more about me or my projects, visit my Linktree at linktr.ee/Richard Wright, capital R, capital W. Thank you for listening.